And we have brought with us a piece of memorabilia from the Junction Bar, formerly known as Boots.
Or Boots and Saddles.
Boots and Saddles. When Boots and Saddles closed, Prism moved over to take over the Boots property and named itself Junction because
sorry.
Because by that time we were getting the community, different parts of the community, all coming together in one place. Whereas in years before, Prism, in former years, was basically a lesbian bar. And Boots and Saddle was basically a leather or bear bar. And never the twain shall meet. But things changed over time. And as the gay and lesbian community started to become more public and more out and more comfortable with ourselves, people were open to cross-pollinate between the different bars. So as a result, drag queens started to show up at Junction, first at Prism and then later at Junction. And of course the old Boots and Saddle crowd by that time were comfortable hanging out with the lesbians. And there were different hours for the different groups, for different cliques. And there was still continuing pool games. There was also a lot of theater work. The drag show and the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose was putting on a lot of shows at the Junction at a wonderful stage. There were a number of key people, which I won't name because there's just too many.
There was a very active kitchen. The garage was shared, that was the next door space to when it was Boots and Saddles. And when Prism took over, they incorporated both sides. So garage, hamburgers, which had been in Edmonton a long time.
During the day before the bar opened, and it was open to the public as a whole, the garage served as a restaurant.
But was part of renamed Junction as well.
And that then became incorporated into the Junction as a whole. The Junction, of course, being a bar, was limited to, minors weren't allowed to come into the bar. The garage, however, was a public facility, and anybody could come in there and have meals. So that was then. And then on September 22, 2012, that was the last day of Junction, the last day of the Boots and Saddle building with those titles. The landlord decided to move on and opted to invoke a clause in the lease which allowed him to vacate the premises and to renovate the facility and then rent it out to someone else who will remain unnamed at the present time. I'm Karen.
Pam.
And we're a married couple, and we are going to be making another presentation specifically more about us and dealing with same-sex marriage and the issues that were coming up in 2003, 4, and 5 until finally same-sex marriage in Canada was legalized, and even Alberta stopped fighting, didn't try to pull the notwithstanding clause in the good old days. And things did get better over time after all. And that is the conclusion of our little show and tell show.